In this video, we're going to be talking about natal Pisces Sun in the 8th house and what this placement means for you if you have it in your birth chart. And with that being said, the Sun in astrology represents our ego and it represents our energy levels as well, because it rules Leo, the fixed fire sign. And fixed is about a constant state. The fixed signs are very constant, and fire is about energy or action. So Leo is about the way that we constantly act, and is also, about passions, things that we always have energy for. And when the Sun is in Pisces, this shows somebody that's passionate about creative topics, and they love freedom as well. They like to have no order. Like they like to be free to do as they please. They like to go with the flow. And that's because Pisces is a mutable water sign, which is about changing, changing or adaptability. Water is very adaptable, and mutability is about change. So people with the Sun in Pisces, they tend to have an adaptable ego or like an adaptable personality, and they change themselves in accordance to the psychology of other people that they are surrounded by. And they always project this image that aligns to others' expectations or to others' values or things that other people value. So when you have this placement in the 8th house, which is about the psychology of others, and it's about the values of others, the possessions of others as well, this indicates that you're somebody that adapts themselves to other people's psychology. And when the Sun is in Pisces, it's in the 8th sign from its own sign, because it rules Leo. So there's double 8th house energy. And another trait of Pisces is that they're quite secretive. They hide a lot of aspects of themselves, and they only project on the surface what is in alignment to their situation that they're in. And they very much thrive in solitude because that's where they can really be themselves or like really recharge their energy. They get easily drained by others. And the 8th house is all about secrecy, and it's all about manipulation sometimes, and strategy. It's all about psychology. So these people with the Sun in Pisces in the 8th house, they're very attractive individuals because they know the values of others. They understand the desires of others, and they know how to adapt their character to appeal to that. So also the 8th house is about depth. So when you have this placement of Pisces Sun in the 8th house, this shows that you project this image on the surface when it comes to your personality, but there's a lot more depth to you than you portray. And sometimes you do this projection thing unconsciously. But one thing's for sure when you have the Sun in Pisces is that you're often aware of more things about yourself than others are. It's like on the inside, your Sun is lighting up the room. Like if you were a room, like people only see the screen that's on the outside, but on the inside, the Sun is lighting your subconscious up and is lighting yourself. So you see more of yourself from the inside than other people do, if that makes any sense. I know it was kind of a confusing visual example, but that's kind of how the Sun in Pisces is. And you just show different sides of yourself around different people. So now the problem with this placement is that sometimes other people's psychology or their motivations or their desires can subconsciously influence your character or your actions. And you can be compassionate or giving to a fault. And Pisces is all about compassion. And people that have this placement in the 8th house, they feel like they need to sacrifice themselves to give other people what they want. And for that reason, you tend to hide your vulnerability. You tend to hide your sensitivity, and you tend to hide your compassionate side. And that's because you do not want to be taken advantage of when you have this placement. And that's something that you often go through, especially if your ascendant is in Leo, meaning the sun is your chart ruler. A lot of times you get into complicated situations with others where people latch onto your energy, or they start to manipulate or control you and take advantage of your kindness. You know, they take your kindness for weakness. So you're somebody that hides your sensitivity. You hide your compassion, but you have a very big heart. And the reason why is because when the sun is in the 8th house, it's in the 4th from its own house. And the 4th is about emotions or care. So you're somebody that tends to care about things very easily, or care about people. And when you care about somebody, you get very attached. Or when you care about something, you get very stuck on that feeling. So for that reason, you hide your sensitivity and your vulnerability. And it only gets exposed when people get to know you personally on a private level. You're also somebody that's very intuitive, because the 8th house is a water house, and Pisces is about mutable water as well. And so this indicates gifts of deep intuition. And you have a lot of intuitive gifts, a lot of psychic gifts, and a lot of intuitive confidence. And how your intuition plays out is that a lot of times when you have a conviction, you can't stop feeling it. Like, or whenever you sense something, you stay with that feeling. Or whenever you envision something, or you get a vision of what could be true, like, you can't stop seeing it. And that's because the 8th house is a fixed house. It rules Scorpio, which is a fixed water sign. Fixed, it's about a constant state. And water is how we feel. So that's why Scorpio is about a constant way of feeling. And that's why it's such a dark house at times, because it can rule constant states of depression or constant states of emotion in general. It doesn't always have to be negative. But that's why it shows obsessions. You know, it's when we can't stop feeling something. So when you have this powerful sign of Pisces and the sun being in the 8th house, this means that whenever you sense things, or whenever you intuitively feel something, you can't stop feeling it. So this gives you a very strong intuition, and it's quite accurate. And you read into things quite deeply. So the last thing that I was going to talk about is what the previous point, which was about people only see your compassionate side when they get to know you on a private level. And honestly, I forgot what the next thing I was going to say about that. But that is a trait of this placement. And you could also just be somebody that's constantly in a state of sensitivity or intuition, like being sensitive to your environment. This placement also shows somebody that's good at manifestation and creative endeavors. Very creative people. They're able to hold a vision for a long period of time. And it shows that you're somebody that's motivated by your imagination or by your dreams. Because the 8th house is about motivation. Pisces is about dreams. And creativity, possibilities. And so you have this desire to explore that and to express that, or to manifest those things. So with that being said, that basically sums up what I have for this particular placement and what I wanted to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed and that it resonated. If you did, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Other than that, if you'd like a natal chart reading, the link is in the description to my Patreon. And for other inquiries, I have my email in the description as well. So if that interests you, then definitely check those out. And other than that, I will talk to you guys sometime soon in another video. Peace.